And that, by the way, too, what was one take. Greg Daniels, our creator, literally apologized to me.
And he was like, dude, you cost us like 20 grand.
The basketball,
that's real.
Warehouse versus. Yeah. You can hoop.
I can.
Yeah. And I wanted to know your background. Like, did you play high school?
I kind of gave it up. I played early. I played through. Yeah, I played into high school, but it was. That was not scripted. So people say like improv. So improv is sometimes not like a joke, but
you drain like
I was
yeah, dude.
That's what was on network. It was 13 in a row. If you get the DVD from 15 feet, like free throw line extended around. So what it was, and by the way, in work shoes and a jacket,
like
and tie.
Yeah, man.
It's the best flex to have.
Well, here's the thing: is that I was young. I mean, I was young, not super young. I was young when the show started. So what? This sounds horrible, and I don't really mean this in that way. But what do boys do? Young men do when they're handed a ball.
Yeah.
Yep.
You dribble it and you start shooting. So like they would call cut. And I would go out and me, and it was mostly like me and Krasinski. He was like taunting me and saying he was better than me. And so we would play horse and we would blah, blah, blah. And now there's about 6 people who take credit for this, but someone said, hey, so at the end when it goes, Brian, just go shoot. And they told the cameras like, just swing around and do it, and we just
kept it in.
They just kept going.
You were draining. It was nothing but net.
That's real. That's all real.
Sick.
That's probably the best thing to have, like the best
no edit. And that, by the way, too, what was one take that we did it one time. Thankfully, I made however many, and then we went. And Greg Daniels, our creator, literally apologized to me when the final cut got together. He was like, it was so unbelievable, but we only have like 22 minutes for this episode. Like we can't do the entire episode of you just making baskets.
Highlight reel.
As cool as that is, we'll put it on the DVD or whatever. Yeah,
they gotta make a mixtape.
Yeah,
dude, that's like the one time you could say like, "Oh, you guys were filming that? Oh, wow, I didn't know. Oh, you guys were recording." Do you ever get a say in the Peacock extended cut stuff? Like,
no.
Yeah, so they just piece together, like Peacock, and just piece together whatever.
I have not done that, actually. I have not gone back. There are things, like if people start like deep diving me, asking questions, there are a few things that I can't, like that I'll remember something that we shot and I'm like, was that in the episode or not? Like I can't remember. Now it probably all is.
Yeah. Which is so crazy. Like, how do you so they cut up obviously like the 22-minute episodes for The Office, but then they just kept the crew of NBC just kept the footage and then just pieced it together just later on.
Yeah. No, they would assemble it would typically be, and this was with improvisation or like, more full storyline, like there's an A story, a B story, say a C story, and they would play those out and people would improv. And so the assembly on our shows were usually 40, 45 minutes. So you're cutting like half to get down to that. And a lot of the cuts, like, okay, that doesn't work as well, or that goes on too long, or we don't need that beat for the story. But yeah, it was always incredibly difficult, at least those last few minutes, to decide what they were going to take out or whatever. I directed later on, and so I was like, I don't know how to choose.
Yeah.
It's funny going back to the basketball thing. I have experience, but in a more negative way, where I was an extra.
Say, no, you did not get 13 in a row.
I was an extra for this like Adult Swim pilot, and I was so pumped. I was like 18. I was like, oh man, I love Adult Swim. This is like so excited. And they asked, hey, do any of the extras know how to play basketball? And, I'm young. I'm ambitious. I
You're
said,
the young kid with the ball.
yeah, I was
You're
with
young
the
kid with
ball.
the ball. You got the NBA shirt
They
on.
gave me the
Yeah.
jersey. They gave me the ball, and they set up the camera rig where like some guys essentially like standing by the hoop the entire time. And it took me 40 minutes to make one layup. And the shoot
A
had to
layup?
go. Yeah,
The
a
most
layup.
uncoordinated
And
athlete.
they eventually I did make it, but later in the cut they used a shot where I just didn't make it at all.
They just use them as a joke.
And then later I saw
my
the
God.
producer of the thing, and he was like, "Dude, you cost us like 20 grand because we had to go over schedule
No.
just because of you." Yeah,
Oh my
Don't give me
God.
yeah.
You really think you cost 20 grand?
That's what he told me.
Oh, I thought he was just giving you a hard time.
No.
Damn. So when did, just go back to the Peacock stuff, like when did they decide to start using the, like, was there a certain year, a point of like when they took on The Office, they were just like, oh, we need to give the fans something else to look at?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. I mean, you know, so we were on, I think it was 8 years, six to 8 years, at least 6 years on Netflix.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you heard, it did pretty well for them over there on Netflix.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, I think it was, you know, I mean, I wasn't in the room where it happened, but they decided they wanted that asset back, and they were launching Peacock. So I know that they, you know, they got us, and they sort of used the launch of our show combined with like the Olympics coverage to kind of try to bolster Peacock. So I think, yeah, they're just looking for.
Gotcha.
Have you ever met
Material.
the UK version of yourself? Have you talked to
I have. And I know this is not funny at all. He just passed away.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Damn.
Nope.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. No, I know. It's yeah.
What was it like talking to him when you reached out? Or who reached out first?
I can't remember. So that weirdly, I don't want to be wrong about this, but I met a bunch of them. Maybe it was like our first year or something, the Emmy stuff. Like they were weirdly still sort of involved, or maybe it was their Christmas special. Because they did a Christmas special, they did season 1, season 2, and then they did a Christmas special. Or I'm totally wrong about that, and it was like extras or something that Ricky Gervais was also doing, and a bunch of them were like at Emmy parties or something, or Golden Globes, or, you know, something like that. So I've met pretty much all of them. I mean, obviously Stephen Merchant and Ricky Gervais, they didn't work so much on ours, but they were around occasionally and stuff. But yeah, we got to know them all a little bit. Yeah.
Nice.